Hello everyone. So I was compelled to do another video here. So someone, actually from a personal friend of mine that I communicate a lot with, texting back and forth, and he's on the wrong side. Just kidding. He's a right-winger Trump supporter. So he sent me this clip. I believe his name is David Harris. He actually sent me two, one with Kevin Jackson and then David Harris. So this one David Harris clip, as you'll see, says that Trump is not a racist and he loves all people. It's hilarious, quite frankly. So David Harris is totally missing it here. So let me play, it's like a 13-minute clip. I'll play the first minute or so and then I'll talk and I'll respond. But this is quite amusing. Here we go. Now this is obviously a right-wing thing. There's, this used to mean patriotism, the flag. This used to be a good thing. By the way, I was born on the 4th of July. Yep. So I'm a patriotic guy, and this used to be good. Now with Trump, now it's it's the Nazi swastika. Same shit. It's a buzzword for racism, and it's just too bad, Like you just see all around these flags all over the place, and then you see, oh, it's so gross what this man Trump has done to this. I used to be so proud of the flag and all this, and this white nationalist monster has ruined it for everyone. All right, so let me just play this.
David Harris, wonderful to have you on American Thought Leaders.
Jan, thank you so much for having me.
I think we have to talk about racism.
Yeah, that is the topic of today.
Right now there's a lot of people that are, with great vitriol, I might add, are calling the president racist.
Yep.
What do you say to that?
It's interesting. I never thought about Donald Trump as being a racist. I never heard anything about Donald Trump being a racist. I never heard any media talk about Donald Trump being a racist until he ran for president as a Republican.
I'll respond.
And then
in 30
it was
seconds.
all of a sudden it was the talk. Then he's racist, he's sexist. It's all these negative things, and it's continued for 2.5 years. It hasn't stopped. So I've had the opportunity to personally meet the president 3 times. He invited about 400 of us that were at a Turning Point USA event back in October to the White House. That sounds like something a racist president would do. Let's have 400 black folks come over to my house, and let me just talk to them and tell them what.
Now, what's this guy? Was it Kevin Harris? Oh, David Harris, I think his name is. So, okay. Duh. He doesn't dislike you, David Harris. Of course. You're a very intelligent, articulate, successful man. Now, let me just explain this to you. When people call Donald Trump a racist, they're not. It's not like he's not a guy who's going to judge some. Well, let me backtrack a little bit. It's with Donald Trump, it's more classism, right? So this gentleman here, like he said something like, "Oh, before the election, I never heard of anyone saying that Trump was a racist and or sexist and all this." And I'm like, first of all, I just want to say, the Central Park Five, interesting, right? So the remember, this is in the 90s, the Wilding incident where that young woman jogging, the Central Park jogger, and she was attacked by, in Trump's mind, with like the media blew it all over, like these young kids, many of them under the age of 18. There were a couple wilding, and they beat the fucking shit out of her and almost killed her, right? So the next day, or was the couple days after this, the Donald Trump full page New York Times has this whole crazed tirade. It was actually very well written, but calling for the death penalty for 5 poor black kids who didn't do it. Donald Trump never apologized for this. Nope. This is what we're talking about. So when you talk about Trump, oh, he's not a racist. No kidding. He's not a racist to you. You're upper middle class. I call Trump an Archie Bunker type racist, right? So Donald Trump is not very smart. I mean, he's got like, all right, he's kind of like a street smart sort of thing. So I'm not saying he's stupid. I've been critical of him, and he doesn't read books, and he's not articulate. He's a terrible communicator. Donald Trump is very, very shallow. So a man like Kevin Jackson or Mark Harris, he meets him, he's not going to say, "Oh, you're black," and this. No, that's not the type of racism we're talking about when it comes to Donald Trump. What Trump fails to see is the decades of and hundreds of years, if you will, of racism, discrimination, and oppression. All right. So even if let me phrase it this way. Let's just say we had a magic pill and we all took it, and we'd wake up in the morning and every person would be totally non-racist. Nobody would have a racist bone in your body. Like, you would not look at someone's skin color. Tomorrow, everyone is open-minded. You don't think there'd still be problems? Think about it. So what we're trying to address is the decades, not to repeat here, the decades and all the years of oppression. We have take a look at our cities and years of poor education and generation after generation after generation. Now, I think things are better, are getting better. 100%. And it got better again. I think Kevin Jackson talked about, Obama, 2 terms with an African American black president, and that was good. And we're leading up to this. Yes, Donald Trump is a white nationalist, a racist, but still, and this is the concern. Like, we're going this way in terms of race relations in this, and now we have a white racist who's trying to turn it around. That's the whole problem. I hope I explained this right. And I hope this makes sense. Okay. Have a great night, everyone.